Whiskey World Tour, Japan.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everyday Whiskey. I'm Dan.
I'm Mike.
I'm Steve.
And he's our guest star of the week.
So this week we are debuting our new series called Whiskey World Tour. So basically we're going to drink a bunch of whiskeys from different parts of the world.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all like a little bit of whiskey from everywhere. So we're going to have some crowd pleasers. We're going to have some ones we don't like so much. But we're going to sift through the bullshit. This week we're doing, as hopefully you understood by the intro, we are doing Japan.
Yes.
So actually our buddy Steve here just got back from Japan, like 2 weeks ago? Or no,
a
week
week
and a half
ago.
ago? We can go?
Literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Literally 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Alright, so your quarantine time's up.
Tomorrow it's up.
Better quarantine than we got there?
No.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's okay. Who's counting?
So, as you can see, we're doing Japanese whiskey because it's not a sake.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You did it.
I did
You
it.
really did it. You really did it.
I did it.
I thought we talked about this.
We did, but
It happened.
Whoa, we got demonetized. We went out swinging.
bye-bye.
You can say we blew
Very
up.
nice. Anyway, Japanese Whiskey Week. Let's go.
Alright, let's do this. Alright, quick shout out to one of our whiskey storks for the awesome Contradiction whiskey hats. So obviously Smooth Ambler, which we reviewed one of their bottles, or two of their bottles.
Two of their bottles.
On an episode for the Mash Holes episode, which you guys need to watch.
Did
more.
we do the second bottle yet?
Well, it was on the show. We
Okay.
didn't talk about it really, but yeah, it was on our Mash Holes episode, so I encourage you to watch that one.
And I didn't get the hat memo. Mine's currently on my dresser.
Yeah, but we also evolve in
We
shirt
do.
color.
We're all matchy-matchy today. It happens.
Very like bleak colors. But all right,
right.
so first whiskey.
We're ninjas.
First whiskey today, we're gonna do.
I see what you did there.
A ninja. Wow, we're really just like swinging for the fences this episode, aren't we?
It's
All
fun.
right, sweet. So we're gonna try these in order of obviously lightest palate to the heaviest on the palate, so we don't blow our palates out and we can actually taste these. So first one we're gonna do is one of my favorite Japanese whiskeys of all time, is Harazaki Fine Cask.
Yeah.
So this is imported by Niche.
And it is not vodka, despite being as clear as
And you're
it
gonna
is.
see how clear this pours out.
It is
This
really-
actually
it is
has some
really
color
clear.
just because of the label, but it pours out clear.
Yeah.
So this one is super light, super sessionable. You're gonna get notes of cherry, notes of cherry blossom, and notes of pear. So just pass it down. And it's a really good you know how there's a reference in beer called a porch pounder, just something you can kick back and relax with. This is like kind of a porch pounder of a Japanese whiskey.
Japanese porch pound.
And as with Japanese whiskey, it's all nuanced from Scotland. So they spell their whiskey without an E, which some people that's the correct way. Some people it's the incorrect way.
Instead of a porch pounder, it's a dojo delight.
Oh boy.
Jesus, you're like really freaking.
He's just ripping away here.
This
tonight.
is so fun. I love this episode.
Just keep it going. Let's see what else we got here.
Well, I was going to pop up and
Alright,
say,
cheers,
wasabi!
boys.
But I didn't do that.
We'll do a little cheers to start the episode. We've done this in a while. But, alright, so Harazaki Fine Cask.
Ooh, it smells delightful.
It does smell good.
Wow. Yeah, so... You
Get a
can
little
see,
ethanol.
I'm trying to
You
see.
initially get a little ethanol, but then
It's
it really
like-
kind of finishes out.
Crystal clear, almost. I mean, that is...
Yeah, it's one of the
That is
it's
awesome.
one of the lightest whiskeys without being a new make that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's I don't know the aging on it. If I'm gonna guess based off taste, it's probably between 2 and 3 years.
Yeah, it's definitely not aged long, and it's a very young whiskey.
You
As
said,
a-
you
what
said,
kind
you
of
said
barrels,
pear,
though?
right?
Yeah, it's pear and cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Mostly pear I get, and I get a little caramel at the end, kind of like
Yeah.
texture caramel.
Do they use new barrels or not?
No, so this one's actually really cool. It's a cool. It's 3 different casks.
That's where the color usually comes from, is
Yeah,
aging in
but
finely aged
They
oak
don't keep
barrels.
it in each cask for that long, so it's bourbon casks, sherry casks, and the cool one, Mizunara.
Mizunara.
So Mizunara is super.
I should have brought the Shivas.
Yeah, Mizunara is super associated with Japanese whiskey because you can only get it in Japan. And they use it everywhere. They use it in Scotch. They use it in Irish whiskey, but it's from Japan. And initially, they didn't like it because it wasn't airtight. They got a lot of leakage. They were losing product left and right because of it. But what they basically took the barrels and stuck them in the corner of a distillery for 20 years. Never used them. And some guy was like, "Hey, we should probably use these.
Hey,
Like we're wasting some money here." And they used them again. They were airtight after 20 years, and they tasted amazing. And they don't actually leach as much, so
Go
you
figure,
get like
right?
a lighter color.
did you see a lot of Mizunara when you were there?
I did not. Oh, damn. I mean, maybe I did. And I just
He
didn't know.
might have.
It's possible. So.
He might have. Any barrel you saw, it was a Mizunara.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, 100%. We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
All right, so
We'll
we
roll
can
with
either
it like we roll our sushi.
you can either finish up what you got, or we're gonna grab your
Hey.
glasses.
That's like 4 or 5. You know?
I know,
That's
right?
5, I think.
Let's do fresh. Let's do
Wanna do
fresh
fresh
glasses.
fill?
Yeah, let's do fresh glasses.
do fresh
we
fill.
got enough. We got enough glasses.
All right, so
As you saw from last week's episode, we have plenty of glasses.
yeah, send those down then. All right, so that was the Hadazaki Finecast. I'm gonna say for the last time. So this one, once again, this is a really affordable bottle between $35 and $45, depending on where you're at. Depending on where
Readily
you're at.
available. In
Very,
stores.
very, very readily available.
You'll notice the more Japanese whiskey is actually blown up in a lot of stores. Pretty much everywhere you go, they're gonna either have a small Japanese section, or I've noticed
Or
a
they're the
lot
lock
of,
boxes.
or the lock boxes. But I've noticed a lot of them they kind of blend in with the scotches too. Probably because
Well, they're really
a lot
Scotch
of,
nuanced.
Yeah, they really are Scotch nuanced. So
And
that-
this is-
you can find them in that area if you can't find a Japanese section per se.
All right, Steve, since you brought this, you can talk about it.
Oh boy, I gotta talk.
Oh, you get to talk. You're not just here for
Well,
your
just let
good
them know,
looks,
like-
boy.
That's pretty rough.
Well, let them know what bottle what you brought and why you got it, and like kind of what you thought about Japan while you're there. Like we can just kind of go through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I obviously had to bring a bottle back for these guys here to try out, and
That was the point.
I wanted to bring back something that was somewhat tasty. So,
Something different too, which I
Um,
think you got different because you can't
well,
get
yeah,
it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't find this here. And obviously it's got some cool Japanese writing all over it, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
But
I don't understand.
can't read it.
I can't read it, so that
maybe
means it might
maybe
be
you
good.
guys can. I don't know. I can't really read
Someone,
that.
somebody translate that for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please in the comments.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring back something that was cool and that we all enjoy, obviously. So
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely.
You know.
And like this is cool
So-
because most of our episodes we try to have whiskey that's readily available. This is kind of the flip side of it where
Mhm.
you can only get this online.
Yeah.
From what
I
we
think-
found out.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing about this, it's gonna sound really stupid, but here in America, everything is by, you either get like a liter, a 750, a 1.75, a 250, a 100. This though
720.
is
Yeah,
this is just
700.
I don't know if you
A
can see it
700?
down in that corner. It's a 700 milliliter.
hmm
I don't know why I think that's cool. I think it's cool.
I mean, it's
50 milliliters isn't a huge difference in bottle size.
I think
but
it's
like,
just it makes it
unique.
unique to.
Yeah,
to
to
where
what
it
it
comes
is.
from, yeah.
Exactly, it makes it more
So-
unique because, like I said, it's a size.
it was literally one of the first things I noticed when I read. Well, it's probably the only thing I could really.
Because if
read
you
on the
read
bottle.
like a lot of
But
Japanese
it came from
bottles,
there.
it's
Yeah.
either
You know.
it's either like bottled in San Francisco or New York, and that's why we get the 750s and the
Yeah, they'll
1.5s
import the
like that.
liquid, then bottle it.
Exactly.
stateside.
So, but why'd you pick this one? Was there something
Yeah.
that like called you off the shelf?
I mean, not necessarily, but I mean the
It had
the
one-
writing and the naming on it was pretty cool. So
It had one English sentence on it, so
it had one English sentence.
Steve's just
yeah,
there
so.
like Koshu.
But they had, they had a couple different selections of this brand at the store, so I had tried a couple of them and then decided to bring this one home. So,
So we've had it
Yeah,
already. I
I-
enjoyed it.
and obviously I had some quarantine time while I was over in Japan, so
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
a
had
little
plenty
bit.
of time to taste some whiskeys and
Yeah, I will
and,
say.
different boozes while I was there, so
Well,
it was good.
If you
So-
want to go on a little road trip to try and find some more Japanese products, I can't confirm that this or any other brands from Japan are there, but there's a place in Edgewater, New Jersey, right on, I think it's the Hoboken area, Hudson River area. It's called Mitsuwa. It's a whole Japanese like shopping center, kind of like a mini mall.
Okay.
And that's where I got some of the sochus that I have.
Oh yeah, you sent me pictures of that. And I was like, what the heck?
They have like Japanese like beer, and it's imported, and all the labels are just like they're all in Japanese. It's not translated.
So it's like
to
super
American.
authentic stuff.
Yeah, so if you want to
Okay.
try and find stuff like this, that might be one of the only places you could find it.
But-
At least in our state. I don't know about
Do
other
they have the slushies there?
Ooh, I don't think
Yeah.
they do
Ooh.
not.
No
I don't
slushies.
know.
No
But-
Japanese
but
slushies.
okay, so hold up. Last time I was there, this was like 3 years back. So I
Maybe-
do got to take another trip.
Maybe this is new.
See, it could have been new. I don't know.
But let's get down to the brass tacks and actually try this thing. So
Yeah.
everybody, cheers, guys.
Cheers again. And the nose is super delightful. Very light and fruity.
You definitely get like this like very almost intense cherry note that you get like off a lot of like heavily blended whiskeys. And like this is so like this is a pure malt. So when you say pure malt in Japanese whiskey, it literally just means either vatted malt, which they don't use that term anymore, or it means just blended malt, which derives from Scotland, and it's just a fancy term for a blended whiskey. So
Yeah.
in Japan though, what they do is
This
it's not
is phenomenal.
it's not blended from within one distillery. A bunch of distilleries sometimes team up, and
Yeah.
they blend a lot of their products together. That way, they get more production and they can release more product to the U.S. or whatever the hell they want to distribute it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the case with this one. I'm assuming. If I'm wrong, someone say something in the comments.
No, I'm from everything I saw,
Yeah.
that's the case. So.
So yeah, but this is like a super standard, like it's a little bit bigger bodied as compared to the Harazaki. It's a bigger bodied whiskey.
It is,
Definitely.
but it's super smooth.
super smooth. There's not as much of an ethanol kick.
No,
so
I mean
a
it's
little
only
more refined.
80 proof, so it's only 40%, so it's really low. In the alcohol, it doesn't burn at all, and it's uniquely sweet.
Yeah.
It's actually very sweet for a whiskey,
good thing
which
about
I
the-
kind of like. I like that heavy oak and that deep smoke.
You get some.
but
You
this
get a little.
is
You get a little.
sweet
You get a
and
little
good.
peat smoke though. You get a little.
A little
peaty
bit,
flavor to it.
yeah.
You get a little bit of that, but it's
It's
not
really
it's not
good.
overpowering though by any means.
I'm
So.
happy I get to try something like this. Thanks again, Steve, for
Oh, yeah.
serving
Thank you,
our
buddy.
country and bringing us delicious
No,
beverages.
no worries, man.
Anytime.
Next time, I'm hiding in your luggage.
All right.
Depends where I'm going though. I mean, I don't know.
You're going to Japan again. So I said so.
Okay.
All right. So now, time for the.
I
grand
got government
finale.
pull. Not really.
The hardest bottle I've ever bought to pour. So I'm gonna definitely spill.
Very
the whole
unique
shot.
bottle. It's got no
So,
neck.
Nika from the barrel. So this is, once again, another blended. So this is a blended whiskey, but it's a blend of single malts and grain whiskeys. And,
This bottle's like the guy from 90 Day Fiance with no neck.
oh, God.
Now we're really demonetized.
Can I hear your coffee?
90-day fiance.
Sir, it's like,
Oh, his name's like Ed or some
it's the
shit.
it's the Cartman of whiskey bottles.
Yeah.
It's the Eric Cartman of whiskey bottles. But, so this is cask strength. So it's blended single malts and grain whiskeys, but it's blended at cask strength. So basically it means they're not diluting it with water throughout the distilling process. They're basically taking whatever the liquid is in the barrel right to bottle. They're not changing or altering it anyway. So the
Nice.
proof's 51 point, or the proof's gonna be 102.8.
Oh wow, that's really precise. Yeah, good luck trying to pour this.
Oh,
Wow,
It's
that comes
actually
out
not
fast.
bad, not bad.
So this one's gonna go anywhere between $70 and $100. This is a pretty rare bottle. You can get it, but if you see it, you gotta jump on it because they don't come around very
No.
far. And it's funny because Japan uses a lot of twist tops, even
Nika-
on their higher end stuff.
They do.
This is imported.
Most things I saw over there.
Yeah.
Everything's
Japan's
twisted.
ahead of us technology-wise.
Even
so
even
like,
They might know something we don't.
some
Yeah.
vino over there. All the vinos, twist tops.
Yeah.
Everything. So.
So this is imported by Hodling. So Niche and Hodling are two of the biggest importers when it comes to like Japanese or just Asian whiskeys in general from India, China, you fill the blank. This one's cool because this one really appeals to bourbon drinkers. So smell it and tell me that doesn't smell like bourbon.
we can do an India episode because
the John Paul.
I have that, and I have all the Amma roots.
Oh, cool.
Well, I don't personally have them, but
that's all from India.
the
Yeah,
Amma root,
yeah,
Amma
yeah.
root's Indian. But my company has access to.
That smells like bourbon. That smells like Four Roses to me.
Oh wow, yeah.
Remember this
That's a
four?
great
It smells like
Oh yeah.
it smells like Four Roses,
Yeah,
bro.
Now the cool thing about Nika though is they're actually probably one of the most popular stateside. You can find a lot of their other
Yeah.
bottles all over, especially the coffee grain. The coffee grain.
This tastes like a heavily peated cask strength scotch. Smells like bourbon, tastes like scotch. So that's where I love love Japanese whiskey because they have this cool crossover, and they jump back and forth between categories. 'Cause you can
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
that's-
good.
you can sell a Japanese whiskey
Very-
to a
very
Scotch guy,
tasty.
bourbon guy,
So
whatever.
good.
But
and totally different from
everything else
from
too.
everything
It's
else.
heavy
that
though.
I've
Each
tried.
one of these
Biggest
bottles
It
was
is, yeah.
incredibly different.
And that's what I liked about it. You can see every different style. Not this doesn't even represent every style Japanese
no,
whiskey
a
has,
lot
but
more.
it shows you the complexity and how much they can change it up just
Mhm.
based on casking or conditions where they're at. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're very precise and very aware of what they're doing to their liquid.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, this one is very rare. It's available in the U.S., but Nika makes a bunch of products: coffee grain, coffee malt,
Coffee grain.
Takasuru pure malt.
Yep.
It's something as this. Migikyo Yoichi would be another one, and then you got your Nika from the barrel.
Not to be confused with Yoshi from Mario. Yoichi.
He's fun too. He's fun. Woohoo! Is that Yoshi? Woohoo!
No, that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that is-
Oh, then you got Wario.
Yeah, you do that one well.
I make the noise regularly. But-
Nintendo.
Like I said, that was the whole point of this episode, was to show you the vast variety of whiskeys that you can get from Japan, and all different styles of making whiskey, and how like they kind of use different techniques to create these cool and unique products.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, very Scotch inspired across the board.
Mhm.
They all have these little Scotch nuances, but they definitely have their own, are starting to develop their own style of whiskey, which is cool.
Definitely.
But I think that's a safe spot to wrap up this episode,
so.
honestly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Steve, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
Appreciate you
again,
sharing
Steve.
your bottle with us.
Thank you for having
Very
me.
good.
Look out for a couple, we're going to do a bunch of these Whiskey World Tour episodes.
Yes, we are.
But as we say at the end, I screw this up every week, and I run, like, as I say at the end of every goddamn episode.
And we're out of here.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Sorry. All right, so you're gonna do this. You're gonna like. You're gonna comment and subscribe if you like the video and/or my ringtone.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jenna. My sister's calling. But thank you for watching. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.